Let's go to my statement performance of the Sunday games. Wolverhampton Wanderers were hosting Chelsea. It's Chelsea under Maresco that we basically, the papers have been full of 40 to 50 players, some with the manager, some with the reserve team coach.
Sell one, loan one, play one.
It's the actual game. It's like fantasy manager, but in real life. Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell look like they're outdoor experienced players, with a number of others who are going to be out on loans in different things. It felt chaotic at Chelsea, and I wondered. Well, I actually didn't know what to expect today. I wanted to look at Maresca's team, having seen them against Man City. It's always difficult to judge anything against Man City. Yeah. But away to Wolves is a challenge against a Gary O'Neill team we know will always be tactically well set up and well coached. What could this young Chelsea team do, and what would Maresca ball look like? We keep hearing about this guy, and he was at Leicester, and he's a Pep disciple and that. But your Premier League manager, it's your first away game against a team that you hopefully would beat. What did it look like, Mustoe? Well, start me off, my friend.
It's too much. It's too much to say. It's too much to say. It was the performance of the day, maybe of the weekend, in terms of what we learnt. We've got confirmation, the style, and the confirmation is it's Man City's team, basically. I can go through right now and tell you, player for player, what they're trying to do. Malo Gusto, the right back, zipped into midfield like Rico Lewis does, or sometimes on the other side they do that. So they build up with three at the back, two midfield players, one holder in Caicedo and Gusto, and then Cole Palmer and Fernandes go forward, the wingers, like City have wingers, Madueke on one side, Mudryk on the left side, and Nico Jackson up front. And they're very true to that style. He's a Pep disciple. Yeah. We saw it at Leicester City, Rob, though, quite frankly. We don't see a lot of Leicester games. There's a lot of games that we watch in the Premier League. But it is chaotic, right? And I think, by the way, I hope that in previous podcasts, the preview one and last weekend, I think that it's different, right? We did a big feature on the show today in Chelsea, and they're the list of players, and they're going to get rid of a load, and some are going to go on loan, and they're training it. That's very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to be careful of rubbishing it off, by the way, because it's different. And I hope that we haven't done that.
No,
we've said what we've seen, which is
enough.
And there's been chaotic, and there's been tons of signings, and I think I've said, how are they affording these? They're better accountants than I am. If they can not get in trouble with PSR, if they can make some money on some player trades, and they can create, the most important thing is they can create a good, young, entertaining, attacking team for the Chelsea fans, then that's it. That's it. No, I ain't saying they're almost there. No. But today was a, wow, that's fun to watch, and it's going to be fun because they're going to attack a lot, they're going to defend a lot, they're going to concede a lot of goals. And my excitement isn't that Chelsea are going to be brilliant from now on in, but my excitement is, that's it.
Yeah,
we know what to see.
A little bit more
I can see now if Caicedo doesn't play well, Lavia will play there. I can see now that they've got Pedro Neto to play on the left, if Mudryk or anybody else. I can see now if you want something different to Nico Jackson, then you've got João Felix playing as a false nine that we saw in the game. And there's full-back cover, there's centre-back cover. You can kind of see now, and it takes a couple of weeks, what he's trying to do. But again, it won't be plain sailing. There will be some end-to-end chaos losses probably, but I enjoyed it.
And I think where I'll pick up on those points are, I think we all felt amongst those 50 players, there's a team in here.
Well,
there's a group of talented footballers here that if they can be some stability, if the ground can stop moving, if we can hone in on things. And I remember saying on our podcast, and I think I even mentioned it last week, and saying Enzo Maresca's biggest challenge is to concentrate on his players who are playing in his team, in his squad, which
21,
is exactly
22
what he's doing.
Right.
And he came out this week, and I didn't mind him almost saying, you know what, the ones who aren't with me are not really my problem. I would always say, be honest to players. We've all been players, Rob. Sometimes you have bad news, you don't like to hear it, but you'd rather the manager be honest to you. If somebody's not going to be part of your plans, and I believe he's been respectful in going to Sterling and Chilwell and saying, I don't see you getting minutes, so, if you can get yourselves another club, that's what I want. I absolutely have no problem with that. That's a manager's prerogative, if he's happy to let. But what we saw today was the first step and signs of what stability might look like for this team.
I don't think much is going to change now. I think he's done the right thing and probably said, you know what, there's two directors of football there, isn't there? It's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Wow, that's a lot. please let me only work with 22, 23 players, and then the others can train at a different time. Again, it's so different. But if he nips that in the bud and works, because Pep always likes to work with a small amount of players, and then youth academy comes through.
Well, Rob, I looked at the outfield players for Chelsea. Cucurella is 26. Nobody else was older than 23. 21, 22, 23. And just let me put this one in the dressing room in terms of what that could mean in the dressing room. Was when you go to Raheem Sterling, who's been a great pro, good goal scorer, good servant to Liverpool and Manchester City, and Ben Chilwell, who was excellent in the summer series we saw him, and he's had his injury problems. But you go and say respectfully, Raheem, I've loved your career and that, but you're not for me. Those young boys in the dressing room have a standard set, and they know that I've got my chance here. But if I'm not doing it right, if he's prepared to get rid of Raheem Sterling, he'll be prepared to get me. Sends a message and delivers things, and I think regulates your dressing room, Rob, so that, I don't know, that maybe, I'm picking a name out there, maybe Gusto and feels a bit awkward around Sterling because it's Raheem Sterling. If I do something wrong, he's a bit edgy. All of a sudden, he could be taking some of that from the dressing room. And this young group who all look today, Rob, they look like a group of players enjoying each other's company and enjoying playing football.
And nobody enjoyed it more than Noni Madueke, and we've got to mention his hat-trick and the way that he's been one of them that Cole Palmer was one of these, an early one, like, oh, interesting signing from City. It's actually amazing. Madueke, some good games, some bad games. Is he really the guy? And I'm sure I've said that before, by the way. I'm not sure about Madueke. But he's young, and he's turned into a flipping a really effective player that scores goals in a wide area. So he deserves a mention. Cole Palmer, we know all about. 3 assists from him. The goals from Madueke, Rob. We spent a long time on Chelsea here, but
they deserve a long time.
I'm excited because it's like I see the blueprint. There might be small variations, but I think even the players that came in, Rob, it was the same setup, and he tried He tried Felix in different positions with the subs. He's really trying to sift through what he's got and make everybody. This is how we play. And it can work. It can work, and it can be fun to play.
Well, I'm going to go to my underappreciated performer of the week, Robbie Mustoe, and I think true to what you said, we've got to give this Chelsea project chance to fail or succeed and flourish and mature. My underappreciated performer of the week is Enzo Maresca, the Chelsea manager.
Because the expectation and the early signs were like, hang on a minute.
Correct.
He's had a year at Leicester City. He didn't do well in Italy. He's not managed in top flight in the Premier League before as a manager.
Yeah, everybody's conceiving negatives and the doubt. Let's just be open. Let's give this guy a chance. We saw signs of things today that look very exciting. It's not consistent. We know all that's got to come. We know teams have got to grow. Think where Arsenal were 2 years ago to where Arsenal are now.
Exactly. Takes time.
If Maresca in a couple of transfer windows and a couple of things getting the squad he wants. Apparently, one of our stats people today gave me a note. Enzo Maresca is the first manager in Premier League history to see his team score 6 goals in his first away games in the Premier League. Full stop. I'm
going to throw one word and then we're going to move on. And that word for Chelsea is continuity. Come on, this looks good.
The window shuts Friday, doesn't it?
Yeah, continuity with the manager, with the style, with the squad, the first team squad. You can do your buy your players and all that, but let's leave it alone now for seasons. I know he's got a long contract. Big call, by the way, for the directors of football to change Pochettino. And I questioned it, and I said, wow, why would you change it when he's found a winning formula? Well, maybe we just saw why, because there is something better, and this guy plays a style that the fans are going to like even more and get the most out of the young players.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.